Sirena, Daniel, super excited to hang out with y'all. If anybody listening does not know who you are, I feel like I've done this podcast a lot with other creative people and filmmakers, photographers, et cetera, but I've not done a chef yet. I haven't done anybody cooking, and I love to eat. And so when Sirena was like, I want to be on your podcast, I was like, you need to be on my podcast. This is a great idea. Super thrilled. So Sirena and Daniel run my favorite taco truck in the world, which I've talked about on this podcast before. So now it's just like, oh, we're here. Okay, it's all full circle now. Toot your horn a little bit.
How do I toot my horn? I don't know. I'm not good at that. I'm more of like the background person that likes to make the food, then watch you eat it.
Yes. You got to be watching it like, did you like it?
Yes.
Was it good?
You remember when I did that to you?
I've seen you staring at me while I'm trying to eat my food, and you're like, was it good? You liked it, huh? And I'm like, yeah, it was good. Okay. Like, all right. Just watching me.
And then you came back for more.
And then watching me. Yeah. Exactly. And I feel like Dan is the muscle, as it were.
Somewhat.
Also. Somewhat.
So, she had this crazy idea back in, what was it, 2022, right? Just last year?
Yeah.
Right? To start a food truck, because she loves to cook. She's always loved cooking. And so, she found this rinky-dink little trailer in San Antonio for sale, and we bought it and brought it back to New Braunfels, and she started selling tacos, empanadas, all that kind of stuff. And we weren't expecting to do very much. Like, we weren't expecting it to be anything big.
It was just extra income.
Yeah.
Just some extra income to, help out, kind of supplement our household income and stuff. And the first year it just blew up to the point where we couldn't really do anything else but that.
Our CPA asked, so how much, when we did our taxes, or like, well, how much do you think this new business you're going to make? I was like, I don't know, maybe about 30 grand.
Hopefully we'll break
even.
even.
I was like, I think hopefully we'll be doing
hopefully we'll make
much.
enough to actually break even and pay for everything.
Yeah.
And then
it tripled that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the first year.
Yeah.
That's so great.
I did not expect that. So.
And then the first quarter of 2023 just went crazy, exploded.
Doubled what we made.
So we had
the previous year.
Yeah. So I had to quit my job to go full time
kitchen sous chef.
Yes. Which is why I look all scraggly now. I look like a mountain man now.
That's the best part about being self-employed. Okay, you don't have to really do much of anything. Then it's like,
there's no dress code.
That's right.
Yeah, as long as the customers are happy and they don't think food's in the hair's in the food, we're fine.
Nope.
We got beard
no
nets.
hair in the food.
Yeah, we got beard nets.
I see Randy wearing them sometimes. Like, I'm sorry, bro. You look good, but I'm sorry.
It's like it gets his beard all squinched up.
And he doesn't mind. But yeah, so we've got 2 trailers running right now. We're in the process of, hopefully by next year, fingers crossed, we'll have a brick and mortar, because we need to be in an actual restaurant space, because a lot of our business comes from actually caterings. So we do the mobile food vending, we do the pop-ups where we sell food out of the trailer, but the majority of our business comes from weddings, parties, business caterings, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot of demand for that. So
business subscriptions.
I do think at the beginning I was responsible for at least a decent portion of money y'all were making because of the amount of tacos that I was consuming.
Yes, you consumed a lot.
He had a lot of tacos.
Because I literally, I remember that, like, I followed this, like, New Braunfels food truck Facebook page, and I'd see y'all post there occasionally. People post about y'all occasionally, like, hey, we're going to be here, come and eat. And I was like, I need to go try that place. It's on, like, my list of places I need to go try. And then I went finally on a Wednesday, and I was just so mind blown by the carne asada tacos. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I love it. I was literally telling my wife, like, I could go back today. I could drive back right now, 30 minutes after eating this thing, and go eat another one. She's like, don't be that person. Don't do that.
Yeah. Well, we have customers who've eaten carne asada all over the world, and they say hers is the best.
I'm one of them. I agree.
And seriously, and I know people are going to watch this, people are going to listen and be like, yeah, whatever. Everyone says that. It's true. It's legit true. Like, I'm not, if you haven't tried it, you need to come try it. And
everything's fresh.
Yeah. A lot of people say, and a lot of people too, there's like, oh, I don't like carne asada. No, you haven't had her carne asada.
Yeah.
That's why you don't like carne asada. Once you try hers, it'll spoil every other carne asada you've ever had.
That's the problem.
So,
And the surprising thing, I don't use gluten. Like the flour that they use, I think it takes away from the flavor. Not necessarily. I don't have a reason not to put gluten in there, but I know it helps a lot of other people who don't eat gluten. And so, but we don't. I haven't let a lot of people know that. And so this is the first time that a lot of people are knowing that. Surprise!
Right.
All my
Well,
food, all my meals are gluten free besides the tortillas, except the corn ones.
Yeah. Well, and that's why it doesn't. That's why it doesn't weigh you down. It doesn't make you feel heavy after you eat it.
That way, you're willing to go back and drive back for another carne asada taco.
Gladly. Because I think it was, I went back 2 days later. I had it on Wednesday, and then I went back on Friday just because I was telling my wife, like, I have to go back and try this again. I was
making sure it was good. Right?
One of my friends was, I was doing real estate photos for one of my friends. And then I do not do photography often. Okay, it's only whenever people that I know and love ask me. Not normally. But I was like, okay, I can go do your real estate photos. So I did those. And then I was on the way back and I was like, oh, I can stop by the taco truck. They're open today. Okay. So I showed up and then Carlos was there and then you were there. And I was like, oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to see Carlos. And then it turned into like, oh, you'll have a taco subscription.
Yeah, we had just that was the first day we were starting that for a VIP. What's it called?
VIP taco membership.
Yeah, VIP taco membership. He has to remind me what it's. It's like, and we were like, okay, well, would you like to be, our first?
I think I was already volunteering as soon as I heard of it. I didn't even. You were like, we're not even offering this yet. Like, okay, sign me up as soon as you can. Then that's fine. I'll come back. I'll sign up.
But Carlos was there. I was like, might as well take the moment over there.
We will take his money right now. Why would we not? Okay, cool. Yes, let's do that. All right, so good. And it turned out wonderfully. And then I was like, I remember just calling my wife like, hey, we have to go to this taco truck every Tuesday for the next like 6 months. I hope you're okay with that. And she's like, all right, whatever. That's fine.
She goes, I'm down.
We can do
as
that.
long as they have big red cake.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't made that in a while.
It's been a while.
I know. And I will. I haven't done my desserts in there in a while. We've been kind of busy with everything else.
Just a little bit.
I will say, like, the first actual Tuesday, like, because I had the way the taco subscription worked is every Tuesday you get to go get as many tacos and eat as many tacos as you want on the premises. You can't like take them with you. You got to eat them there. And I was like, oh, I can eat a lot of tacos on these premises. That's fine. But I remember the first Tuesday I showed up and you were at some school and you had like the big red cake. You had every single side. I was like, wow. And you're like, eat this, eat this, eat this, eat this. And I think I brought like 3 boxes home. I was like, thank you. Okay, I tried to eat all of it here. I did my best. Wow. All right. But I was like, this is great. Oh my gosh. And yeah.
And our tacos aren't small.
No, it's a burrito.
These aren't little gas station tacos. They're full size tacos. One of our most popular tacos, actually, the biggest taco is the trash taco, which is fantastic. It's probably about 2 to 3 pounds worth of food. On a massive tortilla. We've had people tell us like, yeah, I got one and I ate it. I ate some of it for dinner. Right? I ate some of it for lunch. I took it home and I ate some of it for dinner. And I was going to eat it for breakfast, but my kid got to it and ate the rest of it. Yep. So it's that much food.
Well, we've had college students like say, oh my gosh, thank you. You fed me 3 meals in one day.
Yeah.
If I had to think of an equivalent, my brother would always go to Freebird's Burrito, and they have the Super Monster Burrito, which is like 2 burritos together, and it's $15-$20, but it's several meals worth of burrito, and this is equivalent to that, I would say, where me and Rachel will get it and we'll split it. We'll be like, okay, I'll eat this part, you eat that part. Okay, I'm very full now, and we still have some left over. Okay, we'll just put it with some eggs tomorrow, and we'll eat the rest of it. All
That's
right.
perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, it's basically everything we have in the trailer, like literally. And people come up and ask because the menu says you're not supposed to ask because it's more fun when you don't ask. But we still have people come up and ask us what's in it, and it's literally everything in the trailer. So pork, beef, chicken, carne asada, beans, jalapeno sausage, peppers, eggs, like literally everything we have. We throw it on the grill, mix it all together, and you wouldn't think that would be good. Like, it sounds kind of weird, but the way she does flavors, her flavor profiles and everything, it just all works. It all fits together.
It's supposed to blend.
Yeah.
and harmonize.
Yes.
I think my favorite part is that there is a tortilla underneath it, but you can't. It's not really feasible to.
Yeah, we had one guy Saturday at a car show we were at. Came up to me afterwards and he said he ate about half of it with a fork, and then he finally was able to actually fold it up and eat it, the rest of it, like a taco. But yeah, he had to eat like half of it first.
It's a knife and forker for the first half
Yes.
of it, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's more of an excavation, and eventually you're like, oh, there's the tortilla. There is a tortilla for this taco. It's
Yes.
just
Underneath.
deep underground.
Everything.
Okay, I got to dig down
Yes.
to it.
It's like being a kid when you're gonna go play in the sand,
the
digging
meat
in there.
sandbox.
Yeah,
Yes,
there you go.
exactly. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I know
Fantastic.
a lot of people enjoy. We have a wedding. I think it's coming up. I don't know if it's the end of this year or next year, that they had come and tried some of our food. They want to try a little bit of everything that was on our menu, and they decided they want trash tacos for the groomsmen.
Wow.
So they're like, that's all for the groomsmen. That
They're going to have to take a nap before the ceremony.
I literally was like,
eat at
oh,
8
do you
a.m.
really want that? I was like, yeah, they're going
Ceremony's
to be
at 4.
zombies
Okay,
after
nap
that.
Nap it from noon to 2, and then you can get up and actually go get married, because that is...
It'll knock you out.
That is a meal. Yes. That's like eating barbecue before doing it. Oh, that's all I'm doing today. Okay, cool. Like, put the trash taco today. Yeah, that's all I'll be doing. Okay, clear my schedule for the rest of the day. I'm not doing anything else.
Sounds about right.
Yes, exactly. 100%. Oh my goodness. But I feel like you guys, I did not know y'all had only started in 2022.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, February 3rd, 2022. And it was when we were actually, like, we created our business.
Yeah.
Our first event was already scheduled at the end of February. So our first month, we didn't make, but I think a couple $1,000. It was for a home builder.
Yeah, we did an event with Pulte for Operation Home, which is an organization that builds homes for vets. A lot of vets that have disabilities and stuff, they'll build them a home mortgage free and just give it to them. And so one of the homes they built was here in New Braunfels, and they asked us to cater. We actually, the lady who sold us
Our first house. Our second house.
Lady who sold us our second house, she was a realtor with with Pulte, and she's the one that recommended us to them. They tried our food, they loved it, so they hired us to bring the trailer out and serve everyone. We did empanadas and desserts and all that other kind of stuff. And so once we did that event kind of put us on the map with New Braunfels, with this crowd, like let people know, hey, this is what we do, we're here. And so then we started getting a lot of business. A lot of people started looking us up, started coming to find us, and wherever we were set up and stuff. So,
But our thing is like events.
Yeah.
That's, we do very well. A lot of people don't realize, because since we've gotten the new trailer, the big one, that the most we fed, I think, was 450 for
Wow.
Northwest Lakeview College hired us for Cinco de Mayo, I think, right?
We're just going to feed a whole college. No
So-
big deal. Yeah.
And,
They hired us to come out. Or no, it was Hispanic Heritage Month. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Hispanic Heritage Month, they wanted us to come out, and we fed, like she said, around 450 street trios in like 3 hours.
No,
3.5 hours?
I think it was 2.
Anyway.
2
There was a lot of
hours,
people.
we were able to get him out. Of course,
So
it took-
street trios, 3 tacos. So y'all made over 1,000 tacos.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much,
For
yeah.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, and getting them out the window with enough time that they're switching classes and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have
So-
a break. So a lot of these events, and they don't understand. It's like, I will make sure that you get your food quickly and on time. I was like, I love preparing and making sure that you're satisfied and
Yeah.
taken care
Yeah.
of.
People don't expect it to be served so quick, too.
Oh, we get
That's
that all
other
the time.
We get that a lot. We'll
Okay.
tell people, I'll take people's orders, and I'll tell them, we'll have it out in just a couple minutes.
Don't walk away.
And they wander off
Yep.
because they think most people are used to having to wait, 20, 30, 40 minutes. at a
We've heard
truck
that.
for their food.
No, it's been waiting over here for you. You're
But-
taking too long.
Well, and we have a menu, we streamlined the menu to where everything we serve is prepared, it's fresh, it's hot, it's ready to go, but
It's easy to assemble.
It's easy to assemble.
Yeah.
It's so, and it's,
So, and if we know we're doing a big event, I've already got tortillas heated up, warmed, and then all we have to do is just the most thing we have to do on the grill is grilling all the vegetables, the veggies, and stuff like that, because everything's already in the steam table, all the meats and stuff. Put it on there, boom, you're ready to
Done.
go.
Good to go.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think our shortest time is before he's even finished
Well, the
putting in
gringo,
the
you
order.
can do the gringo in less than a minute.
Yeah.
That's super
Oh,
easy.
yeah.
So
That's an
they're
easy
standing
taco.
there. It's like, can I have a gringo? And he's getting all their information, and we'll look over and see what they're ordering. And then by the time they finish paying for it, we're already handing them their
Meat and
their
cheese,
food.
here you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gringo special, yeah, for those that don't know, haven't been to our truck yet. First I'd say why not, but yeah. The gringo is just flour tortilla and then either chicken fajita or steak fajita meat and shredded cheese. That's it.
That's his
gringo.
taco.
To
But
be
it's
clear,
fantastic.
I have more of like a national, international audience as well. So,
Well, you know,
some of them don't know where New Braunfels is.
they
Even
need
I'm
to
like,
fly.
okay.
They need to fly to New Braunfels.
Come to New Braunfels,
and
Texas. Go to Un Poco De Todo.
Try. Yes.
We've actually had a
You have
lot of
to.
people come from Europe, from all that.
People that are
way.
they're
tourists.
agreeing, they're
Yeah.
tourists. They're looking for some place to eat, and so they stop at our taco truck and
Well,
get
they've
a truck
asked the
and-
locals.
Yeah.
They've said they say the best place to find, and you can see it in our reviews and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of Google reviews. Facebook is our main one. I tend
Yeah.
to have a lot more, interaction on that. I don't know how to work Instagram. I'm sorry, still working on it. That's his job. But we've gotten people where like when they ask them, "Where's the best place I can get a breakfast taco or something like that?" And the person remarked, hey, go to this trailer, right over here. You're going to get the best taco that you're going to have. And they've left a review saying, oh my gosh, yes, if you want to know where to go, ask the locals.
It was the best. They weren't lying to me. They're like, yeah, exactly.
We've also been on, what is it, the news stations, or what is it called? KSAT and what's the other one?
local San Antonio news. Kins 5?
Yes,
Right.
there you go.
KSAT
KSAT,
KSAT
I'm
12,
so
Kins
sorry.
5. Yeah.
And
One of them came out to do a story at the trailer. I forget which
On the
one
trash
it was.
taco.
On the trash taco. That's right.
yeah.
And then we were in San Antonio for Battle of Breakfast Tacos last year for Fiesta.
Yes.
That was exciting.
If
We
you don't
were-
live in Texas, you don't understand. They have like breakfast taco battles where you got to go and eat a lot of
Yes.
breakfast tacos and they judge
Yes.
them, which is just wonderful. It's
Yeah.
great.
So whoever came, it was at Los Patios was the sponsor of the event, and they sold tickets, and so everyone who bought a ticket would get coupons for I think there were 5 of us, 5 or 6 trucks competing,
Yes.
and you get a breakfast taco from each truck,
There's
and
7, I
then
think.
you vote on which one is your favorite. And so we did a mini Sirena special, which is the carne guisada
On a jalapeno
tortilla, onions, peppers, cilantro, cheese, all that kind of good stuff. And we won, like hands down.
Hands down.
Best
Yes.
taco.
I was believing in
so
y'all.
on
Yeah,
the
yes.
record.
There's a
So
lot
it's
of competition.
matter. It's a matter of public record. The best breakfast taco in San Antonio is in New Braunfels.
So, I mean, and I to be clear, in Texas especially, there's a lot of arguments between, does Austin have the best breakfast tacos to San Antonio? And a lot of people are very adamant, like, no, you have to go to San Antonio if you want the best breakfast
I
taco.
heard that.
So for y'all to then be like, well, actually, we won, and it's in New Braunfels, halfway
they even
between.
announced
Yeah,
that
split
they're
the
like
difference.
the winner for the best San Antonio breakfast taco isn't even from San Antonio.
But here it
They're
is.
from New Braunfels, but we're considered outskirts
Yeah.
of San Antonio. We're still a part of San
A
Antonio.
suburb, yes.
Yes.
More or less.
Yes.
Halfway between San Antonio and Austin. It's fine. Yeah, and that's just, it's crazy, but delicious. So delicious.
Yes.
So I'm sort of intrigued here. Did you do catering before you opened the food truck, or was this sort of like the start of all this venture?
Legally, no. No, I'm kidding.
I did a lot of cooking for like friends, family.
Mm-hmm.
I've been cooking since I was about 9 years old, making
Yeah.
up stuff. As I went, I loved just the flavors. I was just telling him actually a story when I think I was like 6 or 7, and I remember getting leaves and stuff like that outside and playing in the
Yeah.
porch and making my soups and stuff.
Yeah.
So I already had it in me. I think back, I was like, you know what? I've always had that in me to want to cook.
Well, like my wife Rachel, she loves baking, and she talks about whenever she was a kid, she had like an easy bake oven, and she was experimenting with whatever little things you can bake in under a
Yeah.
100 watt light bulb, but she'd be like, make her parents like, try this. And they're like, oh, okay. But just sort of that learning experience from that age. And I don't know, that leads into like sort of, I don't know, the biggest thing that I wanted to ask you about in terms of creativity, because I feel like a lot of my audience is people that are filmmakers, photographers, people that aren't necessarily chefs or that cook, but are probably people that like to eat. But I feel like there's such a big overlap between the creativity that goes into making food, and especially like coming up with recipes and doing that versus like creating a video.
I can
It's
tell
art.
you.
It's art.
Yeah.
I can tell you a lot of it had to do with, I grew up poor. You used what you got to make something at, and if you ain't got nothing else, we got good food. And so I was going to feed you well, my family, my children, my mom was an amazing cook. And she still says, I try to give her credit, and she's like, no, it wasn't me. You do your own thing. You don't cook like me. I was like, she goes, you're a whole different kind of, which I know I am. But I mean, the reason I cook as well as I do, I believe, is because I got it from her.
Yeah.
We don't teach measurements is the hard part, which I'm still trying to learn.
Yeah, she's trying to do, whenever she does try to follow a recipe or like write a recipe down, it doesn't come out as good. It doesn't, as when she just eyeballs it. And we're to the point now where we've got to tell our employees, like, look, you're just gonna have to watch her and do
That's
what
how
she
my mama
does.
said. She's like,
You're
if
just
you
gonna
want to
have
learn,
watch
mija,
her.
mira, ven pa acá and, watch me.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want to learn how to cook, you're going to go into the kitchen and you're going to watch. That's what you do. You help out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Measuring cups in our kitchen aren't for like actually measuring. They're just for scooping. That's all that like legit. That's what we do.
Scoop the sauce out and we put it over here. Like, how much is it? Doesn't matter. We just gotta move it.
But
and
four
that's
of
the
those
thing.
things, whatever those cups are, see those big ones?
And like you said, there's all that overlap because it is an art. I mean, it's an art. There's not, it's you have to have, just like when you make videos, when you take pictures, like you have to have an eye for stuff. You have to be able to see it in your mind. When it comes to cooking, like you have to taste for it. Like you have to be able to,
I have a smell for it.
smell it, taste it, feel like the textures and the feeling and the like all that stuff. You have to know what you want it to taste like in order to get it right. Because if she'll taste something and she'll be like, it's not right. There's something off. What is it? And then she'll just go grab some random thing from the cupboard and then it's perfect. It's perfect.
I tend to like even my kids. It's like, Mom, what are you doing? Because I'll be like, smelling it, and I was like, I'm tasting it.
Yeah.
Because I taught classes also for like what was it for like the summer classes that they have at Calvary Baptist Academy.
Calvary Baptist Academy, Calvary Baptist Church. They had some summer camp type things for kids, and one of them was like
the art
sort
of,
of like
I called it the art of cooking.
Yeah,
One of them was a college level cooking class taught by Sirena.
Oh.
Like, good luck, kids. You're gonna learn. Like,
I did. I taught them a lot
loved
of
it.
things. They loved it, and I
loved it.
had some really good cooks in there. I was teaching them like, okay, like say we're making pico de gallo. Right? It's like one of the kids, I hate tomatoes. I don't want tomatoes. And I was like, okay, there's nothing wrong with you not liking tomatoes, but let's make this, and then you taste it and you tell me what you think. I like tomatoes in this.
Yeah.
I go, that's the whole point, is like you have to understand, you may not like something by itself, but when you blend it together with other vegetables, the sauce, lime, lemon, whatever, and I go, you add that, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole beautiful world.
Well, my sister was the same way. My sister was the same way. She doesn't like anything in pico de gallo at
Nothing.
all. And she tried her pico de gallo and she loves it. She can't get enough of it. Now, whenever we go visit, like she has to make pico de gallo.
But she won't eat anybody else's.
No, she won't.
She only eat mine. And her husband's the guacamole.
Guacamole.
Yes.
you have that. Yeah.
So
So I don't know. Going back to what you were saying, Dan, about it sort of being this art form, in that it's, you almost have to feel it out. You can't just be like, just do this. You have to experiment. And
Yes.
I see so much overlap in that, in the world of any creative endeavor cannot be a paint by numbers thing, or like do this exact thing. It's not a recipe list that you're following. Even though I'm really good at following recipes, I have to do that, because otherwise when I go off, I'm like, oh no, what have I done? I totally
That's how I
screwed
cook.
up there.
That's
my thing.
That's
I can't cook without a recipe. Like,
And I will say that Rachel having more of a baking background.
That's more scientific.
Yes, you have to be a lot more like, this is your exact weight in grams of flour that you're using.
I don't do that even with my baking.
Baking is more science.
I get the basics down, but then I'm like, I'm throwing this and this is going to substitute for milk. And I was like,
She still does whatever
I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah, she does.
Because I know it's going to taste better.
And somehow it comes out good. Yeah.
So I guess my sort of question for you then is, you have all these recipes that you have now here that are at least in your brain that you feel out.
No, actually been writing them down.
Okay.
She has
That's
been
good.
working on writing them down.
Okay. You have all these
Ingredients,
recipes
at least.
and ingredients here. Yes. And can you walk through the process a little bit more of coming up with this stuff? Like, how are you sort of, I understand you're just experimenting and just throwing things into a bowl, but
It's not experimenting for me.
yes. Yeah. So
Because
explain
I
that.
already know. So my measurements are by the size of the pan or the pot or whatever it is that I'm using. Fill it up with meat. That's my measurement. It's not weighed. It's like, I know if we get this much, this is how much I'm going to get out of it. So we buy our meat and we chop our own meat. So that's all us. And it has to be a certain size because I'll gripe at my kids otherwise. I was like, hey, you made that too chunky. It's not going to be good, But it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And then I will look at it and I have my seasoning and I will shake it on top. And I know by just the layer of that one, okay, that's good. Now we're gonna layer it with this other, the onion powder, the garlic, the seasonal, stuff like that. Whatever it is that I'm using. Oh, they don't know what I'm talking about. Right? So
She put salt and pepper on it? What are you saying here? You're crazy.
Oh, his grandma. That reminds me.
Yeah.
His grandma had one time. What was I making? I made something at the house, and she was like, "Do you have salt and pepper?"
Oh yeah, once it was done, once it was made, and we've had people ask that at the truck too, like, "Oh, do you have any salt?" You don't need salt.
I wouldn't
go,
put it on it.
To me, food is ready to be served just the way it is.
Yeah.
You aren't supposed to be fixing it and adding anything else to
We did that
it.
with your brisket too, your barbecue. We had guys, we had a catering, and she made some brisket, and I had a guy ask me, he's like, "Do you have any barbecue sauce?" I'm like, "Bro, you're not gonna need it. You're not gonna need it." And he kind of gives me this look. I'm like, "No, go eat it. You're not gonna need it." And so he's like, "Okay, we'll see." And so he came back probably 15-20 minutes later. He's like, "Hey, you're right. I didn't need no sauce."
Okay, good.
Told you.
I don't make it like normal people do. I try. I really have. I was like, and the last time I followed a recipe, it came out horrible.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It didn't use it well.
No, it was just like, that's not good. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It didn't taste it because it didn't have that little extra. We've come up with a brisket that I think is, amazing. And
The
people-
rub.
The rub that I
and it was
made.
and it was totally 100% random. We're walking down the aisle at Costco, shopping at Costco, getting all our stuff, and they have this hot honey, which is a habanero infused honey.
Yes, sign
and
me
she
up.
saw it and she's like,
wanna
"That
use
needs to
that."
go on the brisket."
Okay.
And so honey, mustard, and her
my-
mix
my
of
rub.
seasonings on this brisket. And I don't like hot stuff. I can't handle spice hardly at all.
Do you know who you married?
And yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I didn't know till afterwards.
I've been working on him.
It's fantastic. Like, it's not overwhelmed. There's just a little bit of heat to give it that little bit of a kick, but it's not overwhelming. It's fantastic. It's so good. I never liked brisket because I'm not originally from Texas. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and this is one thing I will say about being here. I'm from Ohio. Up north, we do chicken, we do pork. We killer pulled pork up in Ohio, like amazing. But down here, it's all brisket. Like, it's all about brisket.
Yep.
And so I never got into brisket. To me, it always just tasted like roast beef. So if I had to choose between brisket or chicken, I'd be getting the chicken. Well, I tried that brisket that she made with that habanero honey on it.
You couldn't
and
stop eating it.
I ate probably 5 or 6 big old thick pieces in one sitting. I mean, it's so good.
Well, that goes the same for
So
the
good.
pulled pork.
So, yeah,
that
it
I
goes
made.
the same for the pulled pork too. Like I said, down here in Texas, y'all do brisket fantastic. It's phenomenal, right? But nobody down, y'all don't know how to do pork down here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if there's any people listening that do barbecue. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you.
Texas is known for brisket.
Texas is known for, you do. Your brisket is fantastic. Your beef's fantastic. Y'all got a little to learn when it comes to pork. But so I told her that. And she's like, I'll show you some pulled pork.
I'll show you. Hold on now.
I'll make you some pulled pork.
I'll make you pulled pork.
And yes, fantastic.
That's his favorite thing. And I was like,
absolutely amazing.
I had to make it like all the time, and my kids were getting tired of it. They were like, "Can we eat something else?"
Yeah,
because he always wanted something else.
It's really good,
and it's easy for me to make.
Yeah. What was y'all's dating like? Was it just like you just cooking for him constantly and him being like, I need to marry you? Okay.
No. Okay. So our it was
the green chili chicken enchiladas.
Yes.
Ooh, still haven't had those. Just saying.
Oh, I've had him on the truck.
Still haven't had him. Haven't been there at that time. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you went out of town.
I was out of town. I'm so sad.
Had to go travel the world or something.
I know. Oh, dang it.
No. He wanted to see how. Like, I go, do you want me to cook for you? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I probably weighed like 160 pounds when we got married.
Oh no, he was like 150 pounds soaking wet.
I was skinny
when we first started dating, and
they
noticed him at his work. They noticed. They're like, "You're getting a little thick there," and he had to buy more clothes just to fit him at work. His uniforms and
nice.
So he gained a good
enough. But I was 150 pounds. Let's just say I'm not
anymore.
I'm not anymore.
Well, he's not. I'm now he sees why the running around helps, and so I've got him doing all kinds of stuff. And they ask him, why aren't you like 300?
Yeah, people ask me, they're like, well, how are you not 300 or 400 pounds with all this good food? I'm like, I don't get to eat it. I don't have time. I'm running around all over. I eat bird seed all day. Basically, I live on sunflower seeds. That's what I eat because I don't have time.
I don't get to eat my food either. I forget. That's my biggest problem.
Yeah, your thing is you forget.
I forget because I'm too busy making sure everybody else is taken care of. And so I'm trying to get better at that.
But I've come to the truck. It's like 2 p.m. You're like, oh, I'm finally eating something. I'm like, good for you. Okay.
Right.
I've been up since 3. I'm like, yeah, you should probably eat something. Please don't die.
Yeah. Okay. Usually like it's closer to the end of the day when I finally get to sit down and eat something. And usually I'm just filled up because I taste it, so my body doesn't let me know, hey, you're really hungry. You need to eat.
Yeah.
That's how my grandma was. Like, she was just like, oh, I had a bowl of Cheerios this morning. I'm fine. I'm like, Nana, you need to eat more, please. Like, come on.
We're built from a different generation.
Yes. I will say, though, with Rachel she's a fantastic cook, but she really loves baking, so it's always like sweets and baked goods and stuff like that. And I'm not a big sweets guy, so she'll make it for herself, and that's what she does, which is great. And so it's kept me from gaining a ton of weight because if she cooked meat like you did, I'd be like, oh no, this is dangerous for me. Like that would be like, okay, now I'm putting on the pounds because I'm just eating. Well, then
me and Rachel have to get together.
Pulled pork all the time. Yeah, like
we're gonna be cooking together.
Yeah, she'll be like, I needed to make a cake. I'm like, okay, make the cake. I'll have like 2 bites of it. She loves
baking though. That's hers.
Yes.
And I love watching other people bake. I can eat a little bit of sweets, but
she's not a sweet person.
I don't. I'm more savory. So even my sweets aren't extremely sweet, but they're sweet enough that you want more.
Rachel's actually hosting a pie baking class for our church group this weekend because one of the moms was like, I don't know how to make pie crust well. And she's like, okay, I can do pie crust. And then the other mom's like, well, we want to know too. Hold on. So Rachel's going to have like all these moms come over and make pie crust on Saturday. And today we got the groceries and it was like, how much butter did we buy? Oh, how many sticks? Okay, we need a lot of unsalted butter for all this pie. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's
we're not going to Costco yet. We're not at that level like y'all are, but we're also
we
give it some time. You'll be right there with us. You're gonna want to.
And not only that, we can't even get everything at Costco. Like we have to go.
We do Benny Keith and Cisco. You've in Granzines here. Granzines has some amazing.
Actually, shout out to Granzines because we had an event last month. We had an event last month with the Reserve on 1863 called Tacos and Tequila, where she created a pairing menu for John Wolf's Juan Lobo tequila brand. And
if this sounds appealing to you, the thoughts of tacos and tequila, they just follow their Instagram page.
Yes.
And they'll tell you next
Instagram
time they're doing
page,
it.
pictures up on our website too, unpocodetotonb.com. We got the pictures there. But the beef we sourced for the Wagyu steak fajitas was from Snake River Farms, and we got it from Granzine's here in town, because we don't use normal skirt steak for fajitas. Like for our fajita meat, our fajita meat is not. A lot of people don't know that, and that's one of the compliments we always get when people try our steak is like, "Wow, that steak's really good." It's like, yeah, because it's not skirt steak. Skirt steak, there's really not a lot you can do to skirt steak to get it to the level of actual steak. There's a reason it's cheaper. There's a reason that's what people use for fajitas. It's because it's a lot cheaper meat. It's a lot cheaper cut of meat. Well, so we tried Wagyu skirt steak. It wasn't even to the level of her.
It wouldn't have the whole
fajitas.
point I wanted to do this was to wow people.
Yeah.
When you're going to pay good money to go for a 4-course meal, I was like, which the first was ceviche. I made some ceviche. Then my second was a soup, which pozole. So if you haven't had my pozole, I do red or green, but my favorite is green, and so is it to everybody else. And then our main course was Wagyu and chicken fajitas with rice and beans and, all the little toppings. And
so we couldn't,
everything.
so in order to top, so if it was going to be elevated from what we normally do, it couldn't be Wagyu skirt steak. We had to get Wagyu New York strip steak and actually slice it cook it and slice
as
it
a
for
steak,
fajitas.
and then
And
so you just cut it thinner and then slice
no,
like that?
I left
Okay.
that sucker thick.
Yeah.
You do it right. It's like, and
like I said,
we tried different places.
Yeah.
We were trying out.
Yeah, we were trying a
Wagyu.
bunch of different. We tried, like I said, we tried stuff from Cisco. We tried stuff from HEB. We tried stuff from all over the place. And Granzine's, like I said, they sourced their Wagyu from Snake River Farms. The New York strip, it was just, it was fantastic. It was perfect.
When I made it, I was like,
absolutely
now
perfect.
this is what's going to make a person say, oh my gosh.
So there's a reel on our Facebook and our Instagram of me experimenting with a tomahawk steak, and she needed because we had to get some steak we had to get a New York strip to try out first, like to experiment with what we were gonna, if this is what we wanted to get. So we just got a little piece, and there was a tomahawk steak in there that I had seen the day before.
$60
Now hang on. Who's telling the story?
No, I was telling you how much it was.
Who's telling the story?
You are.
I'm telling the story.
My bad.
So she sent me into Granzine's to get the meat, and there was a tomahawk steak sitting in there. And the guy I told him, hey, I just need, how much Wagyu did we get? It was just like,
This is why you don't
it was
send
just
them
like,
in
what, a
alone.
pound?
Yeah.
It was like a pound, right?
The Wagyu was a
The
pound.
Wagyu was a pound. So while somebody's wrapping it up, somebody else behind the counter asked me if I need any. I said, yeah, man. I said, how much are those? How big are those tomahawk steaks? He said, oh, they're normally 2 to 3 pounds.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. He's like, do you want me to weigh that one for you? I was like, yeah, throw it up there.
Just weigh it for me.
Throw it up there, because it's
let me
15.
look at it.
It's $15.99 a pound.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do some math in my head. So he throws it on the scale, and it was like 3.8 pounds.
Yeah.
He's like, wow. He's like, that one's a lot bigger than they normally are. Do you want me to check in the back and see if we have any smaller? I said, absolutely not. No. I said, you wrap that up for me and put it in
I
the
just
bag.
need that one, actually.
And so I get the Wagyu, I get the tomahawk steak. Of course, it's got the bone, so it's sticking way out of the bag.
Yeah.
I put it in the
like,
truck.
what?
She looks back there. She's like, what in the world is that? What did you get? I said, don't worry about it. I said, don't worry about it. I said,
that's what I got.
I said, hey, that
I
steak,
knew what it was.
that almost 4 pounds of meat cost the same as your little 1 pound New York strip.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
It was a deal. He had to get it.
When I told her I had to, because it was content.
I actually,
I was gonna
still
shoot,
less than that 1 pound of meat that we
it was a
got.
tax
This
write-off.
is also how I justify buying any camera gear. I'm like, no, I'll make a video about it.
right.
It's fine. I need to buy this thing.
That's right.
And she's
so
like,
I turned it into content, tax write-off. Boom.
Boom, done.
There you go.
Yes.
And I had steak for like
It was
2
for
days.
advertising purposes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it was
marketing.
was that not a killer video?
No,
though?
he didn't. He did. It was fun. Yeah, I
It was
was
a fun
like,
video.
there.
If you haven't seen it,
He
go
was
check it out.
having fun with it, and I loved
Well,
it.
it worked
and
out.
It looked good, and it tasted good. He gave me a taste of it.
Yeah, it worked out too, because our son was cooking our son does his whole, what is that called, where you cook it in the water?
Sous vide?
Yes.
You
He
vacuum
does his.
seal it and you cook it
Yeah.
in water, and I'm just kind of like,
If you haven't seen the video, you need to see the video. It's funny. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So I wasn't impressed. I'm like, this is how you cook steak.
Yeah, I think my other son as well is like, he's like, what is he doing? Because the other day my son was doing Jacob. He's our second youngest, and he was doing the same thing with one of his steaks. And my oldest son, Randy, the one at the food truck, he's like, what are you? That's not how you cook a steak. It's like so. My second youngest is more bougie, I guess, about his cooking. I was like, no, you just slap it on some fire, and then we're good to go.
I'm just gonna hide my sous vide in the other room. Like, don't look over there. It's fine.
No, it's not bad because I've tasted. My son's given me a taste of it. I was like, that's good, but you have to season it properly. He's learning. He's playing with seasonings right now, and so I was like, I'm letting him. He doesn't ask me for any help. So I was like, that's
I will
all you.
say it's a good foolproof way to like guarantee medium rare.
Oh, yeah.
It's just done as long as you have to season it a ton in the bag if you want it to like turn
absorb,
out good.
yeah.
Yes. So
it just worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That
no,
is
we've
good.
got
We've got
something else coming up too.
Ooh.
Oh yes, we do. So this is going to be fun. And
Yes.
tickets, I'm pretty sure there's still some tickets available. I didn't check this morning, but I'm pretty sure there are. It's another event with a reserve on 1863. We're doing a whiskey and war stories event.
Oh, yes.
On the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So I think it's the 28th.
8th, yes.
I think yes,
Tuesday.
28th. Will Summers. I don't know if you've seen the movie 12 Strong.
Yes.
Movie 12 Strong.
Yes.
Will Summers was one of the original 12 guys that went into Afghanistan after 9/11. So after 9/11, the U.S. Army Rangers knew they were going to have to go into Afghanistan. But because Afghanistan is so mountainous, because it's so rocky, they basically dropped 12 guys into the mountains to meet up with a band of rebels. And they had nothing but horses and light arms. That's all they had.
Yep.
And so they were called the Horse Soldiers. That's where they got the nickname Horse Soldiers. And so Will Summers was one of those guys. He came back. Some of him and some of his other buddies started Horse Soldier Bourbon. And so Whiskey and War Stories is going to be a steak dinner, loaded mashed potatoes, veggies, salad. It's going to be a 2-hour event where you get to eat and listen to Will Summers tell stories about kind of his experience in Afghanistan, some of the work that he's been doing since he's been back to help veterans. It's gonna be an awesome kind of experience. And so every person that purchases a ticket and comes, you're gonna leave with a complimentary bottle of Horse Soldier Bourbon whiskey that's going to be signed by Will Summers.
Cool.
And so
and there's also VIP.
Yeah, there's VIP tickets. VIP tickets are, so the regular tickets are $100 a piece, and you get the complimentary bottle. VIP tickets are $150, and you get a pre-dinner cocktail, seating at the table with Will Summers, and then you leave with an upgraded bottle of Horse Soldier Bourbon. There's 3 different flavors, and so the $150 ticket gets you the top shelf,
the premium
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And will there be a tomahawk steak at this?
No,
okay.
There's not going to be a tomahawk steak.
This is going to be
New York strip.
Yeah, New York strip steak.
Nice,
But it's still going to be fantastic.
Oh, I believe you. Don't worry.
So
I feel like you put a tomahawk in front of everybody. They're like, I have to eat all this. Okay, hold on. You're like,
right.
okay, well,
Exactly.
You don't need to eat 3.8 pounds of meat for this thing. Don't worry.
But that's going to be fun. So like I said, tickets are still on sale. Our website, the Reserves Facebook page has a link to where you get the tickets for that. But
so I had another question for you, because you had mentioned your sons, all of your children.
6 children.
6 children.
6 children.
And I don't know, you putting into context that you really started this venture in 2022. I feel like you pretty quickly have roped some of your children into working with you.
I praise God for that, because
we didn't actually.
It was just us. It was
arms.
just for me. Mm-hmm. And then it happened that Randy had to. He was in need of a job at that time.
Yeah, he had lost his job right at the time when we were starting. Business was really starting to pick up, and we were needing someone. And he's always worked in kitchens. Like that's been his
since he was about
specialty.
15.
Oh, he's talked to me about it. He's like, I didn't need school. I've been taught in the kitchen. I know how to do this. I'm like,
So
okay,
Back of the house is what he
Yeah.
he knows, and he's cooked Italian. He's worked at a steakhouse, seafood. He's
worked all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it comes to cooking, a little bit of everything. Un Poco De Todo.
Yes.
He trademarked.
Throw that in there.
he
It is
knows how to
trademarked,
do
by
that.
the way.
So he knows how to do it. So that happened at just the right time that we needed him to start working for us.
And from there, the more we grew, the kids would come like, hey, I need to make extra money. Can I come work for you? And then it turned out our kids, my daughter approached us first, right? And she's like, I want to get out of where she was working because of issues that were going on there. She was uncomfortable. And she's like, how much are you going to pay me if I come and work for you?
Ooh.
Yeah, we basically sat down. We're like, okay, we can pay you this much amount of money a week. And she's like, okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then my other son quit his job, Nicholas. Eden's my daughter, and then Nicholas, and he's
been working for us now for what? How long?
Probably about 3 months.
3 months, 3 or 4 months now.
He quit his job to come work for me.
Yeah.
And then only just recently, the one we was talking that does the survey.
Yeah.
He's asked if he can start doing
See?
some part-time stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a prayer that's been answered because I wanted to bring my family closer together. And I'm a very helicopter mom, I guess you could say. I'd like to make sure all my babies are okay. I was like, I don't care how old they get, because I've six, my 6 kids, 6 grandchildren, and I just family's everything to me.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful, like to say, yes, this is a family-run business.
Literally, we're having more children, and they will also be working here. We're working on it here. Here comes another one. The grandchildren are growing up. They will soon
I'm
be here
teaching
as
them
well.
to cook in the
yeah.
kitchen already. So.
They're gonna learn how to roll silverware.
I love that. Yeah. Because it has felt like a family business. I will say that. Because like the first time I came, I met Randy. And then I met you, and you're like, oh, Randy's my son. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then it's like, oh, this is my other son. He's over here. And here's my other son. I'm like, okay, the entire family's here. And here's my daughter. I'm like, okay, everybody.
Yeah. And people will see me, and they'll confuse me with Randy. Like,
Yeah.
I'll have people walk up to the trailer when I'm working. They'll kind of do a double take, like, are you? Like, no, that's my son. Oh, okay. All right.
I think behind maybe, like if you see the beard around the corner, you're like, maybe. And then it's like, wait a second. No, he's not tan enough. Hold on. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So.
Can I get something to drink? Sorry.
Don't go dying on the podcast here, okay? This is quality content. We have
I've
to
been talking too much. I don't talk this much.
clearly. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
Every time I go to the taco truck, she's over there.
But I have a water bottle with me so I can drink.
Staying hydrated.
Yeah.
You can edit that part out, right?
Last thing I wanted to ask you about, because I feel like I've talked to other chef friends of mine about this, but I really want to ask y'all and all. How do you feel about the Bear TV show?
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. I love it.
Love it.
Because it says, oh, you have no idea. The
People don't understand. A lot of people who are not in this world don't understand the absolute. It's okay. It's fine.
I'll give you a minute here.
It's coffee. I was like,
You
it's
can
not.
edit.
It's not
You can-
helping much.
I can get you a water if you want. Do you want a cup of water? I can get you a cup of water.
Yeah,
Here,
well,
you
no,
tell your story while I get a cup of water. I don't need to be on camera.
Go ahead, babe.
No, so most people don't understand that aren't in this world. They don't understand the absolute grind that it is to be working in a kitchen, to be working in food service. And it's a grind. The margins are really narrow. It's not the kind of thing that you can do unless you absolutely love it and are
Passionate.
fully committed to it. Like, you have to be 100% in and 100% committed to make it work. And so that's one of the things I appreciate about that show, is that it really shows kind of the grind. It's not being a celebrity chef. Like, it's not some of the glitz and glam of some of these celebrity cooking shows and stuff. It's like it's a day in, day out, like every day is a grind.
Yeah.
So we like it. We love it.
And it's hard when you can be a perfectionist about it, because you have to get it just right. And I do have issues that I am not happy with the way it turns out. And everybody else when I give like, this is great, this is amazing, what are you talking about?
And she's just like, I could
This is
have done
crap.
better.
I
Do
could have
it
done
again.
better. I could have done better. It's
Right.
better. I want to give you better. I want to give you more. And so I'm my worst critic. I really am. I'm very critical about my own cooking.
Well, rest assured that pretty much all my artist friends, whether they're cooks or painters or filmmakers, etc., they're all like, this sucks. It could have been better. Dang it. Like there's, it's never done. Like it's never great. Like you can always work on it more. It could always be improved a little bit more. It could always
Once
be a
you
little bit better.
stop, I think is when you've lost it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was like, you never stop learning. I find new stuff, and I was like, ooh. I go if we ever go out to eat, because we never have time.
Well, also there's not really any.
He doesn't want to ever eat anywhere else because he's usually disappointed.
It's not as good as
It's okay. I'm pretty critical of like plenty of restaurants in town, and it's sort of a thing where you can tell if they have somebody that's inspired working there and they're really making something
They
amazing.
love what
and
they
like,
do.
love what they do, or you can tell it's, oh, this is just by the book. Like we've done it this way forever. Like if I have to eat one more chicken fried steak in this town, for example, I'm like, there's too many. And why is everyone like, oh, we opened another restaurant, we got chicken fried steak? I'm like, please stop with the chicken fried steak. It's been everywhere. Like, don't make me eat this anymore. Come on. So I get it.
Well, we're hoping that when we get a restaurant, we've been offered a property, and we're just trying to get the investors so that we can build. They're willing to build outside, and they want us to build the inside. So the type of restaurant is I want it more of an upscale type of cooking, but un poco de todo means un poco de todo. A little bit of everything. So that's not just my Mex-Tex. I don't call it Tex-Mex because it's not. A lot of people get this whole thing, Tex-Mex, their first thought is chili.
Yeah.
And I don't make chili. If it is, it's not your kind of chili. Mine's got beef tip chili, and it's made from all the fresh chiles that you can think of. All the green chiles, roasted, everythve
I've had
from
it.
scratch.
It's very good. Yes.
And so in this town, we've noticed, I've lived here for almost 15 years, and when I came to eat the chili, it was just like hot dog sauce.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? I was like, it's not how I grew up. My sauce is from the fresh chile árbol, guajillo, Pekin, and it's spicy. Enchiladas means enchilada. Te vas a enchilar.
And we get that a lot from people. We get that a lot from people who are from West Texas, where she grew up,
or
people
California.
who are from California, New Mexico. They try our food, and that's one of the things they say is like, wow, this reminds me of back home. Like you don't have food like this around here.
Yeah.
I was like, well, now we do. Here we are.
So that's what we're working towards, like people understanding our enchiladas aren't tomatillo sauce. That's what that is. Our enchiladas are green chiles. So it's going to be spicy. We have a higher heat level than most people.
Yes.
She's not afraid of flavor.
No.
Yeah, and
Not
that's
afraid
what
of
we
flavor and
noticed. It's
spice.
like because people are like too worried, oh, it's going to be too hot for them. Let them decide.
Yeah.
Let people decide. I was like, hey, I'm going to forewarn you. I'll give you a taste test before you buy.
Yeah.
Here, taste this. If it's too hot, then don't get it. But then when I mix it, like Randy's Rockin' Randy,
Yeah.
that has been selling like crazy here lately. People are loving it. It's just a corn tortilla with some beans, my pork chile colorado. And if you don't know what that is it's fall apart tender pork cubes with a red chili sauce made from chiles, the dried chiles, and it's spicy.
Yes,
we
very spicy.
we barely throw any chile piquin in there. So, but it's not overwhelming that you can't enjoy it. Especially
like
with
spicy
grilled
food,
onions, grilled jalapenos, grilled bell peppers on top, and a squeeze of lime, and the
Cilantro.
cheese and cilantro.
I will tell you the first time that I ever took my brother to the food truck, because now I've taken like my entire family now at this point, but first time I took my brother, he, I believe that Randy had made the Rockin' Randy pork that morning, and he had put, because going back to the lack of measuring cups and spoons here from Mom, we're working on it. He apparently misdid something, and he put twice as much as normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it personally because I love spicy food. My brother was dying. He was like, wow, that's intense. Wow. And I was like, he ate the whole thing. He loved it, but he was like, that's a lot. And I was like, yeah, it's normally not.
I think
this
we need to start
spicy.
selling milk.
If you want to sell it, if you want to have that cooler, get a little milk there. That thing would be good. I'd be fine. Hey, if you want to start offering different heat levels, like I can go hotter.
I actually have been
that.
wanting to do like a kind of contest or something for different items. Like, so we want a trash choco eating contest.
You've told me about that, but I need one and be like, I need to lay down now. So I don't know how many.
Right.
Yeah, we got to see who can eat the most trash tacos.
I'll compete. I'll do it.
And then one for the heat. Like he's been talking about doing ghost peppers.
Oh yeah.
And
she needs some kind of sauce.
Yeah.
like that, like the one that is just. But we'd have to have people sign waivers. Literally, I was like, I'm not trying to kill nobody. Okay.
I remember there was a barbecue place we'd go to up in Dallas called Lockhart Barbecue. It was called Lockhart Barbecue. It was in Dallas, but they had these. They had this ghost pepper mac and cheese, and depending on who made it, it would either be like, oh, this is nice, like good mac and cheese, or I'm gonna die eating this. Like there was no middle ground. It was either like who made it that day just would kill you.
See,
or
and
not.
that's the thing. What we're trying to do with her stuff, her flavors, is like we want to do something where you have the heat, you get the heat, and so if you like spicy, you like heat, you can handle it. But it's not so overwhelming. Like we still want it to taste good. That's the thing with her food. Like the spice is there, but it still tastes good. You
a lot
still
of people
want to keep eating.
have tried. Like they'll like, oh, it's not hot, and then they'll eat it because they get the flavor first.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is I can. Oh, I was like I don't know why my salsas and everything. It's like it gives you the flavor, and then it just bites you afterwards. But then it fades. But they're like, the thing, it's just that light heat or the heavy heat, whichever one it comes out to be. Then it fades, but it's not something that lingers. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people say that they love because they can continue eating it comfortably. So
that's great. That's so great. Because I don't know. I feel like it's cool because knowing now that y'all only started in 2022, it's like, wow, this has been kind of a rocket ship of a ride really here.
It's
been a grind. A lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings. It's just, I mean, we've had to turn down work because certain weekends, like we're busy. We're working 2, 3, 4 jobs in a single weekend. I mean, it's just
a day.
It's crazy. It's
a
crazy.
day.
I'll see Serena sometimes. She's like, yeah, I've done 2 events this morning. And I'm like, are you okay? All right. Wow. No.
A lot of times I'm just like, I'm very much a people pleaser. I want to make sure that my customers are thoroughly taken care of.
She'll take every job if she can.
I know. I don't like turning people down. I don't like letting people down. I really love serving others and showing them. I was like, I am a Christian. We're Christians, and for me, serving other people, it really helps. I think people understand who I am, who I truly am, and who I live for. So I want people to know that I'm going to love you through my food. This is a gift that I was given, and so I'm going to take care of you whatever event. And we've had a lot of weddings, and the people was like, well, what are you doing? Like, because I'll go to each table, even though I have people at the buffet serving, and then I'll go afterwards and I'll check on each and every person. And there's like, people don't do this for caterings. Why are you doing it? It's because I want to make sure you're taken care of. Do you need something else? Is there something else I can get you? Because we usually have the truck there when we're still doing the caterings because we're cooking out of the truck. And I was like, well, if you need something else, I got stuff in the truck.
I can make something else for you.
Like, what do you want?
We've
had that.
Yeah, we've had that. People come up for weddings and stuff with like little kids and stuff. Hey, can you just make like a quesadilla or something?
Yes.
You want some chicken strips? You got those back there?
Yes, we do.
Hold on. Yes,
we got chicken strips.
You want
and
dino
French
nuggets?
fries.
We can make those for you. Hold on, we'll cut them out for you. There we go.
No dino nuggets.
Scratch. Okay,
they're the good. They're the good kind.
I'm saying homemade dino nuggets. You're like shaping and cutting out yourself here. Like, wow, that's a lot of work. No.
We'd do it. I would. Just let me know what you need, and I'll make sure it gets done. And we get that a lot. Like we serve the school at Calvary Baptist Academy, and I know they always, the pastor's wife would tell me, hey, I have this event coming up. I need you. It's this many people, and I need you to take care of it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't give me any more.
It's for this event. This is the theme of the event. This is how many people are going to be there. Go. And
she goes, that's all I would have to tell you. And I was like, well, you don't tell me. She goes, because I know if I just tell you what I need, like this many people, you'll take care of the rest.
Yeah.
It's something I don't have to worry about
I don't
anymore.
worry about what kind of food. Just make some food.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like sort of a mark of a professional, like any self-employed professional that I know, there's, especially whenever I deal with like wedding clients, because, you know, same space, I'm making a video instead of making food for them, but it's I don't want them to have to stress about anything. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll handle all that. No, just tell me what you want. Tell me what time to be there. I'll be there. I'll take care of it. Like,
yes,
I'll handle that. And the amount of times that I've had weddings things that break or go wrong, and I'm like, okay, the bride does not need to know about this. We are going to fix this without anyone knowing, and everything's fine. And so you'd laugh about it later with your friends, and you don't tell anybody about it otherwise, because yeah.
And a lot of people will notice that, and even though I know, and I get a little, because I get upset. I was like, why didn't we think of this? And and I'm just like, but nobody was like, this was wonderful, it was amazing. It's like, and then afterwards I'll let them, well, this is what I have to let them know. I was like, hey, I forgot this part or this something. And they're like, we didn't even notice. We didn't even, obviously didn't. I tend to be excessive in my food that I give. So if they end up having more people, they're usually like, I didn't think it was going to be this much food. I was like, I'm feeding you like you're eating at my house.
You ready to eat? Okay, you're going to eat.
It's like abuela used to always say. It was like, hey, you want a tamale? I was like, oh yeah, okay, here's 3. Yeah. It was like,
the last thing you want to do is run out of food.
No, that's what you don't ever want to run out of food on it. And we tell that to people all the time. It's like, they're like, well, we're only having, say 100 people. Yeah. I was like, and that's good. I was like, they want to order.
Like, we'll make rice and beans for 200 then.
Yes.
That's what we do.
That's
what you
I have a bad habit of making lots of rice. It's just, it's a thing.
I came by the food truck once and you were like, we catered like some pasta thing. You want some pasta? Dan, go get him some pasta. And you pull up in a truck. That was one of the first
weddings we did. Yeah.
You pull up in a truck with just a Ziploc bag of chicken Alfredo, and you're like, here you go. Okay. And I was like, that's right. I'll just take this home and eat this. Okay. And I did. Was it good? And it was wonderful. It was great.
And all my sauces are from scratch.
Yeah. So it was great.
Yeah. We tend to like, okay, it's like a lot of them, they're like, well, you can keep the food. And I was like, because they don't know where to put it.
Yeah. We'll always take to go boxes to the jobs and stuff and so we'll load them up. But if there's always some left because you make a ton of food, literally a ton of food.
I even see Randy inheriting that though when I go to the taco truck and he's running. Where like it was like 2 weeks ago, I pulled up. I wanted like 2 tacos for me, 2 tacos for Rachel, nothing crazy. I'm in the car, like starting the car, about to pack up, and he knocks on my window and hands me another taco through the window. He's like, hey, I had a little bit extra. Here you go. I was like, okay, thanks, man. All right, I'll just put this in the bag too here and all. I was like, oh my gosh, great. So
he's got my habits.
Yes.
He does. Yes. And he's wonderful. He's very caring. And the thing is, he goes, I don't want to deal with talking to people when he first started.
So anybody who goes, you need to go to Green and talk to him.
Yes,
that's where he is.
Because he's sweetest. And I think he actually does enjoy it.
Oh, he loves it.
He likes me because he will see people. Because once we got our regulars, right? Yeah. So he will see them walking towards it, and he's already started making their food. Yeah. And he knows what they want, and he takes care of people.
It's at the point now where if I go to the taco truck he's working, I just go inside. I don't actually like go to the front. I just open it. They're like, hey, buddy. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? And I just sit in like a chair and just talk to him for like 10 minutes while he's cooking. I'm like, what else am I going to do in here? Like, okay.
And I guarantee you he loves it. I know he does.
Yeah, it's great. No, he'll like follow me out. He's like, well, you leaving now? Okay. I'm like, I got to go. I'm sorry. My family's waiting. Because Rachel will be like, you at the taco truck again? Because if she knows, like, if Randy or Serena's working, she's like, who's working there? Oh, it's one of the other siblings you don't know well yet? Okay, that's fine. But if it's Randy or Serena, she's like,
you're going to be there for like an hour.
I'll see you in an hour. Okay. Because like you got to order and then they got to make it. But you're also going to be talking to them the entire time they make it. So they're going to do it slower. And I'm like, Yeah. Okay. So
Say we're building relationships.
I'm building taco connections. Okay, it's happening. It's fine.
Why do you think they take care of us so well? No, we'll always take care of you.
That's good. Well, I think that pretty much sums things up here. I hope that this was helpful. I think it was, from like a creative, artistic standpoint, in terms of food, in terms of any sort of creative endeavor. So you'll have your big steak thing coming up here, steak and whiskey.
28th.
Whiskey and War Stories.
November 28th. Whiskey and War Stories.
Yeah,
Whiskey and War
perfect.
Stories
It
on
rolls
28th.
off the tongue very nicely. I like that a lot.
No.
And then what else y'all got going on? Do people have
we
anything
Tamale
else?
orders are closed.
But today's the last.
By
The
time
podcast
this
will not
is-
be out
Yeah.
today. So
by the time
yeah.
this podcast is out, tamale
Get your
orders
tamale
for
orders next
Thanksgiving,
year.
we closed. But I think are we gonna do some for Christmas?
Yes, we will be doing
We're
some
gonna be
for.
doing tamale
We'll
orders for
be.
Christmas.
You can still message us.
Nice.
Well, and we're working on the date for that.
Yeah.
But also to let you know that we do business subscription plans.
Yes.
So anybody out here that owns a business, anybody listening that owns a business in New Braunfels,
Incentive to keep your employees.
we currently have one business signed up for a subscription where we feed their employees 3 days a week off a rotating menu that varies. It's not just Mexican food. It's everything, like Italian, American,
Greek.
Caribbean, Greek, like everything, anything you can think of. We put together this menu. We make you as many plates as you want, like as many plates as employees as you have. You can do, once a week, twice a week, 3 times, like however often you want to do it. And we show up at whatever designated time you want with the food, drop it off. Your employees get to eat.
Yeah. It's really easy, and it's nice because who doesn't like pre-orders?
Oh yeah.
So
anybody who's interested can email us upbtnb.com
yes, and
at Gmail.
Love it.
we'd love to help you with that, keeping your employees. It's incentive. I tell you, these employees are extremely happy because they feed them well.
I'm just over here like, I'm self-employed. Can I get them to bring me whatever that is, like 3 times a week? That'd be great. But
There you go.
like, we just make one batch just for Matt. He gets over here. This is his stuff. It's great. Like,
We could totally do that.
We'll see.
it's a great deal.
Get you on the list.
Oh my
We'll
gosh.
send you the list for the subscription, and you can order off of that.
I gotta tell you, like, because I've talked to you sometimes, and you're like, "Oh, I just made this, like, these shrimp tacos." So I don't have any at the truck though. They were just for the people that I made them for, and I'm like, "But I want that." But that sounds good.
Well, that's the thing too. If you have a business, if you have employees that you want to feed, like I said, if anybody who's interested can email us and we can send you the menu for the month. And if you want to just do like, hey, we'll do like 2 or 3 of these meals a month for X number of people, we can do that too.
That's a great deal.
It
Great
is.
deal.
So
Love it. Way better than getting Chipotle or Panera or whatever.
And you don't have to worry about it. You just
corporate
order
food.
for that entire month. They pay in advance, order for that month, and it's taken care of, and you just know it's going to be delivered.
Yes.
So
Love
can't
that.
beat it. Can't beat it.
Yes, that's great. I think you could also expand to parents with children that just is like, I'm hungry, but I'm tired. Please help me.
Yes.
So yeah, you got options there. That's great.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much. So fun.
Thank you.